Now, we would like to invite Director General of Statistical, Economic and Social Research and Training Center for Islamic Countries, Ambassador Musa Kulaklıkaya, to deliver his presentation about man-made and natural disaster and their effects in the OIC region. Please, I ask you to the floor kindly. Thank you.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Excellencies, distinguished participants, dear friends, brothers and sisters, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I am delighted to be with you today. I would like to extend my best wishes to the Turkish Red Crescent, our host, for bringing us together and initiating the idea of establishment of the Red Crescent and Red Cross National Societies Network in OIC member countries. I also take this opportunity to congratulate all of you for your determination to develop joint programs and projects leading to strengthened capabilities in preventing and responding to natural and man-made disasters. Given the scale and complexity of the current humanitarian challenges, getting the best from everyone has never been more important. For that reason, this event itself is an opportunity to foster partnerships pertinent to enhancing disasters responses. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, as you know, our region is prone to disasters that transcended borders and overwhelm the capacity of a single country to cope. The level of preparedness and prevention capacities varies considerably from country to country. However, humanitarian challenges today are greater than ever, and drivers of humanitarian crisis are increasingly becoming chronic or protracted in nature. Over the last few decades, some OIC countries have passed through challenges of which they will be recovering for a long time. Moreover, in recent years, the OIC region has become less peaceful and vulnerable civilians continue to be targeted. Near 50% of the world's war and limited wars, as well as 38% of violent crises, is taking place in our region. Today, the OIC member countries account for 62% of all displaced population in the world. Natural disasters are also causing humanitarian challenges. More than 800 million people in the OIC area were affected from natural disasters since 1970. Only recently, earthquakes without tsunamis in August, September, and December in 2018 in Indonesia claimed the lives of hundreds of people. On the other hand, September 2018, flooding in Nigeria displaced more than 500,000 people and destroyed more than 13,000 homes. As a result, from Syria to Nigeria, human sufferings are challenging our geography. In 2017, 89 million people, or about 1 person in 20 across the OIC area, was in need of humanitarian assistance. Suffering of those people is often extreme, especially where conflict, terrorism, or both are at the root of the problem. Unfortunately, numbers of people in need of humanitarian assistance are increasing. In Yemen, for example, right now, 24 million people are in need of humanitarian assistance. 10 million of them are just a step away from famine. In Syria, 8.7 million people are in need of humanitarian assistance. Up to 1/3 of these people are living in areas categorized by the UN as hard to reach, where humanitarian needs are particularly severe. Ladies and gentlemen, developing humanitarian response capacities is one of the most critical actions for saving lives. In this regard, the Red Crescent and Red Cross national societies play a crucial role. Due to constant increase in humanitarian challenges in our region, the humanitarian funding gap is also on the rise. Moreover, existing conditions reflect the fact that humanitarian assistance have to be more comprehensive today than it used to be before. In this context, as a person who is concerned about the future of the Islamic world, allow me to share with you some of my opinions. First, I would like to underline the criticality of working together in partnership. We have to foster cooperation across the OIC area in disaster preparedness and prevention. Even the exchange of information, lessons learned, and best practices in the field of disaster management will be valuable for our Red Crescent and Red Cross organizations. Second, we have to strengthen our partnerships with other stakeholders, particularly with agencies and organizations that are funding the humanitarian projects in our region. In this way, we can achieve a better alignment of priorities and increase our efficiency in building disaster-resilient societies. Third, we need a more coordinated response that includes humanitarian, development, and peace-building efforts. The 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development calls upon us to meet humanitarian needs and make sustainable development gains together. There will be no sustainable development if people at the front lines of conflict and climate change are not put at the center of our national development actions. When it comes to peace-building efforts, we need them because armed conflicts drive 80% of humanitarian need globally. You will agree with me that it's easier to prevent the outbreak of conflicts than end them. For that reason, it's important to control the behavior of disputed parties and discourage them from seeking solutions through inciting conflict. Therefore, strengthening the capacity of OIC to more effectively deal with the existing and emerging security and humanitarian challenges is essential. As CESRIC, we are ready to develop any cooperation possibility in capacity building and partnership among you as cooperation arm of OIC. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to seize this opportunity to brief the August gathering on the activities and initiatives of our center in the area of disasters and their effects in the OIC region. We published the report on the humanitarian crisis in OIC countries, drivers, impacts, current challenges, and potential remedies in February 2017 as one of the main recent technical background reports in this area for the OIC region. On the other hand, and due to increasingly frequency of health threats arising from outbreaks, natural and man-made disasters, as well as wars and armed conflicts, the role and impact of health emergency, trained health staff, resilient health systems, and collaboration among the OIC countries become even more crucial as a solution to respond to emergencies in OIC countries. In this regard, CESRIC collaborates with the Federal Ministry of Health of Republic of Sudan, the Ministry of Health of Republic of Turkey, and the Turkish Cooperation and Coordination Agency for the implementation of the project on strengthening coordination and capacity building on preparedness and response for health emergencies in OIC member states. Within the framework of this project, it's planned to develop the institutional and human capacity of the Ministries of Health in emergency preparedness and response, support the strengthening of emergency healthcare services, and train the health staff of OIC countries to make them self-sustaining. I propose to you to replicate this initiative for Red Crescent and Red Cross agencies, voluntary and professional experts. It's planned to collaborate with the trained trainers to share this experience, support the strengthening of emergency healthcare services of OIC countries, and train their experts. In addition, the 6th Islamic Conference of Health Ministers welcomed the launching of OIC Medical Corps, which is an initiative dedicated to saving lives and relieving suffering through healthcare research, training, relief, and development programs. This new initiative aims to strengthen partnership and solidarity across the OIC region with the aim of alleviate the sufferings caused by the humanitarian crisis in OIC countries and improve the quality of life through health interventions and related activities. Your community also will be a partner in this initiative. In addition, CESRIC, in collaboration with Turkish Disaster and Emergency Management Authority of Turkey, will organize different initiatives and programs for the benefit of OIC countries. In this connection, CESRIC is always ready to develop similar to these programs with you and for you. Before concluding, I would like to state that CESRIC is ready to invest its efforts in collecting and disseminating insights, best practices, lessons learned in conflict resolution and humanitarian response, and your partnership is more than welcome. With expressing my hope that this meeting will launch new partnerships and joint policy objectives in the area of humanitarian response and resilience. I wish you a successful meeting, and thank you very much for your kind attention. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.